Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're keeping up with my YouTube videos, which you really should be, if you haven't, it means you haven't subscribed, which I would strongly encourage. And whilst you're at it, may as well like this video even before you've watched it. So last week I shared with you my top 10 favorite band only booty exercises, which also it's full lower body exercises, but they really do target your glutes because we're using the resistance band. And that resistance band is a DB resistance band, so I'm also going to link that down below. So much promo at the start of this video, but continue watching because it's worthwhile. I'm going to share with you my top 10 favorite dumbbell only, gesturing towards it. Can you not see them? Okay. Dumbbell only exercises today. So I got a lot of feedback when I asked on Dat Booty by DB, which is our glute focused training page, available on Instagram, soon to be announced project. Too much promo, is it too much promo? It's not too much promo. Okay, we're gonna continue. That I just wanted to see what equipment everyone had access to. The largest majority was dumbbells and bands, obviously, which is what we catered for last week, and then also body weight only. So I want to share with you the dumbbell only exercises this week so that you can make up your own workouts if you do have access to dumbbells. If you don't, then you can get creative and use different weights, like even just filled water bottles, and then you can make your own workouts from these. So next week I'm going to share with you body weight only exercises. So I hope that you find this little series of my top favorite exercises for your lower body training helpful, and we're going to get into it now. I'm going to also voice over these exercises just to let you know how you get them set up and how you perform the exercise properly. So let's get into the video now. Also like and subscribe. Our first exercise is sumo squats. As you can see, I've taken a nice wide stance here. My toes are slightly turned out to allow myself to get further depth in this exercise. For this exercise, I'm using one dumbbell and I'm holding it just above chest height. The next exercise is alternating side lunges. So as you can see, I've taken a very similar stance to the sumo squat. So it's nice and wide, toes slightly turned out, and we alternate from left to right. I'm holding two dumbbells straight down the middle. When performing this exercise, it's important to lean your torso forward so that you can bring the dumbbells to each side of the foot. Our next exercise is goblet squats. So as you can see, I'm using one dumbbell and I'm grabbing it by one end of the dumbbell. I'm not sure what you call this end. I'm assuming it's the bell and the middle bit is the dumb. I'm not entirely sure what the technical name for this is, but I'm grabbing the larger part. To increase your depth in this exercise, make sure that you turn your toes slightly out so that your elbows come down between your knees. Our next exercise is Romanian deadlifts, or RDLs. So what you want to do is make sure that you're keeping your legs as straight as possible, but with a slight bend in your knees. This exercise targets your hamstrings, which is the muscle that runs down the back of your thighs. Now, you don't need to go all the way down to the floor in this movement, but you just want to make sure that you're keeping your back nice and straight throughout the exercise. Our next exercise is stationary lunges. Now, this is a unilateral exercise, which means it's only performed on one side. So you will need to perform this exercise on each leg. Make sure that there is sufficient distance between your front foot and your back foot when performing this exercise to ensure that you're keeping yourself balanced, and make sure that that front working knee is in line with that front foot without overextending. Our next exercise is frog pumps. You may have seen this exercise in last week's video. If you haven't seen it, means you haven't watched the video, which we will discuss later, but just like and subscribe for now. So as you can see, I'm actually pressing the base of my 2 feet, both of the feet, together. This is a much faster exercise than the glute bridge, hence the word pump. Our next exercise is glute bridges, and as you can see, I've placed the dumbbell across my hips. I'm pressing my hips up to the ceiling and I'm squeezing my glutes at the top of this movement. You may notice that I've actually pressed my heels into the ground and I've elevated my toes. This helps target the posterior chain, which are the muscles that run across the back of the legs up into your glutes. Our next exercise is hip thrusts. This exercise is traditionally performed with a barbell. However, we are doing dumbbell hip thrusts today. This is one of my favorite exercises for building your glutes. As you can see, I've placed the dumbbell across my hips here and I'm pushing my hips up to the ceiling. The difference between glute bridges and hip thrusts is that my back is supported by the bench. Our next exercise is Bulgarian split squats. So as you can see, I've taken a lunge type stance with an elevated back foot. The position of your toes on the bench foot is a matter of personal preference. It really comes down to balance, so whatever feels more comfortable for you. As you can see, I have my toes planted, whereas a lot of people may have a flat foot during this. Our final exercise is standing abduction. So as you can see, I have the dumbbell resting on that working thigh. So you want to make sure that you pause slightly at the top of the movement and you try to get as much range of movement as possible because you'll feel it the most at the top of this exercise. As you can see, the position of my foot is slightly rotated so that my toes point inwards. This helps target the glute medius because this is an abduction exercise and that is our main glute muscle working. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to share it with a friend who is looking for some dumbbell only exercises and then you can train together. Stay tuned for next week. I'll be sharing bodyweight only exercises. I'm going to pop these dumbbells down now because it's heavy, but it just looked really aesthetic for the outro, you know, you vibe me. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe and I'll see you guys next week. Also, as always, comment down below anything you would like to see from me. If you want some particular follow along workouts, etc., make sure to let me know and I'll bring them to you. All right, like and subscribe. See you next week. Bye.